Civil rights attorney Amanda Berman joins us once again. Amanda is the founder and executive director of the Zionist Movement, which is a coalition of Jewish activists. They say they're both Zionist and they're progressive, so in many ways it makes you the perfect guest to talk about this topic today. Did the president strike the right tone?
I thought it was extraordinary. I really never experienced a speech like that. And it really came at a moment where Jews could not be feeling more isolated or alone. And the way that he called out the hate, he named it, he explained what it was and how it's manifesting. And he said it simply has no place.
We have, statistics that have showed the rise in anti-Semitic incidents around the United States, especially since October 7th. And the president talked about some of that today. How does this play politically, do you think? There's the anti-Semitism that surged, and the recorded 7,523 anti-Semitic incidents in the U.S. in 2023, way up from what we saw the year before. What's the political, what's the politics of this? 'Cause I think last time we were on, we were talking about this president has been under a lot of pressure from his left politically, but people like you are also part of his coalition. You would think have been looking for a speech like this. How does it play out?
I think it was a really smart strategic decision. First of all, I think he means it. I think from the bottom of his heart, these are issues that he cares deeply about. As you know, he said that Charlottesville, the neo-Nazis chanting anti-Semitic slurs in Charlottesville, was the reason that he wanted to run for president. So we know he cares deeply about this issue. But beyond that, Americans do not support the sort of anti-Semitism that they are seeing. Even polls, there was a recent Harvard youth poll that said that the Israeli-Palestinian conflict and the war in Gaza ranks, I believe, 15 out of 16 most.
Yeah, it's not anywhere near the top. I think we might have that. If we have, we can stick it up at this new generation. There we go. Top issues for college students. You're right. I mean, there it is, 13%. I mean, healthcare, education, the economy, all this kind of thing, racial justice, civil rights, climate change, everything is way above the conflict in the Middle East among young people.
Right. So there's so much noise. There are so many loud, angry people who are shouting, who are behaving, frankly, in abhorrent ways. And even as we have an obligation to protect their right to speak, to say and believe, frankly, anti-Semitic things, it's not actually a winning political strategy to lean into that, to placate it or to support it. And so the president has done a lot far beyond this speech. In fact, today, the administration released a new Dear Colleague letter that is helping universities, in particular campuses, understand their obligations under Title VI of the Civil Rights Act, understanding what the Office for Civil Rights in the Department of Education needs to see in order to open up an investigation. And several of the examples that were named in that Dear Colleague letter relate directly to actual real-life events that are unfolding on college campuses right now, specifically as it relates to demonizing Jewish students as Zionists, demonizing Israeli students, shutting down events, accusing Jewish students of supporting genocide, as Congresswoman Ilhan Omar did. So, in addition, of course, to many students doing that. So the president, I think, is really understanding that leaning into supporting democracy, freedom, all of the rights that exist in America to protect all marginalized communities, include the Jewish community.
All right, Amanda Berman on the president's anti-Semitism speech. We thank you. We're back to the floor. Thanks so much for watching. Just go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.